So we're standing at the Giant Panda exhibit as part of the Giant Panda experience here at the Toronto Zoo. Today is the last day for the public to see the giant pandas, as we will be closing the exhibit tonight, and then the next few days we will be preparing the pandas for the next leg of their journey to the Calgary Zoo, and they will be staying at the Calgary Zoo for the next 5 years as part of a 10-year loan agreement between Canada and China as part of a global giant panda conservation breeding program. So in order for the giant pandas to come to Canada, there is some giant panda diplomacy involved. So it was in 2012, I believe, that Stephen Harper, the Prime Minister of Canada at the time, was in China and did sign an agreement for the giant pandas to come to Canada for a 10-year global giant panda conservation breeding program. And the Prime Minister was actually at the airport when the pandas arrived in 2013 and actually had to sign for them. They arrived on a FedEx aircraft that came direct from China, and there was some Chinese keepers on that flight, as well as Toronto Zoo staff. And from there, the pandas were then transported to the Toronto Zoo. So in March 2013, two giant pandas arrived from China to Canada, Shun and as part of a global giant panda conservation breeding program. They arrived at the Toronto Zoo on March 25th, 2013, and the panda exhibit opened to the public the long weekend in May. They've been here for 5 years now, and as part of the conservation breeding program, we had great success with the breeding portion of the program in October 2015, when two giant panda cubs were born. These were the first giant panda cubs ever born in Canada. We're extremely proud of our accomplishments and success with this program, and as a result of these twin panda cubs that have grown and thrived, their names are Panpan, which means Canadian hope, and Yueyue, which means Canadian joy. And they will be going to the Calgary Zoo with their mom, Shun, at the end of this week, where they will spend the next 5 years. And we are extremely proud of our accomplishments with the Global Giant Panda Conservation Program. And it's important to note that while the giant pandas were here, they have been downgraded from an endangered species to vulnerable, which means that the zoological institutions around the world are playing a key role in ensuring the ongoing survival of this incredible species. And it's important to note that there's not that many institutions around the world that actually have giant pandas. In North America, there are only 5 zoological institutions that have giant pandas. We're the only ones in Canada that have had them. And then they'll be going to the Calgary Zoo for the next 5 years. So 2 pandas arrived in 2013, 4 pandas are going to the Calgary Zoo in 2018, which means we've been able to double the giant panda population here in Canada. So most of the agreements between Canada and a country to loan giant pandas are 10-year agreements with one institution. This is the first time that China has agreed to split the 10-year agreement between 2 zoological institutions. And that certainly worked to benefit both zoos, to spend 5 years in Toronto and then the next 5 years at the Calgary Zoo. It is an expensive program, but one that we were very proud to be part of. And this way it gives more Canadians the opportunity to see these incredible species up close by spending 5 years in Toronto and then the last 5 years out west in Calgary. So we do hope that many Canadians can enjoy them. More than 6.2 million Canadians have come here to see the giant pandas at the Toronto Zoo, and we wish them nothing but the best on the next leg of their journey in Calgary. Yeah, one of the greatest accomplishments with the Giant Panda Conservation Breeding Program, of course, is the success of births. It's important to note that in the wild, if giant pandas pandas give birth to twins, it's unlikely that both will survive because the mom is only able to care for one. So the fact that we have twins here was an incredible success story, and the fact that they've both thrived and are healthy youngsters is testament to the incredible professional staff here at the Toronto Zoo. And what the Giant Panda program has also done for us is really elevated us on a global stage. And now institutions around the world, the public around the world, is much more aware of the conservation programs here at the Toronto Zoo. And the Giant Pandas have been very helpful in bringing worldwide attention to the Toronto Zoo because of having them here. They are a bit of a global phenomena. They have fans from around the world. And when we launched our TELUS Giant Panda Cam, we know that panda lovers around the world were logging on and checking them out daily. So it certainly is, the Giant Pandas have a huge following around the world, and because of them we've been able to talk about other conservation breeding success stories here, like our clouded leopards, our snow leopards, cheetahs, Blanding's turtles, which are an endangered species here in Ontario, and many more programs. So it's been a wonderful 5 years with them. It's with mixed emotions that we say goodbye. We're happy that they're going to be spending the next 5 years in the Calgary Zoo, but we certainly will miss them.